No mai, haere mai ki tōku kainga hou. Welcome to my home. He pūrākau o ngā tāngata e noho ana I roto I ngā kainga awhi kaumātua. Stories from people living in care homes. We have interviewed people who live in care homes and their whānau about what's important to them. The Maori health model, Te Whare Tapawhā, gives providers a strong foundation for understanding best practice. Here are some of the voices of the people we interviewed. We have also included discussion topics for providers to raise at resident and family or whānau quality forums about how to enrich well-being at the care home. Taha tinana, physical health and well-being. Themes from the interviews included the experience of entering a care home for the first time and settling into care. Aged care provides people with a safe environment, which is the main reason they move in.
When I did a big fall and I went to Peru, one, I could see that I couldn't keep on doing it, and two, they told me I had to find a place like this to stay.
When whānau make the decision, it's because they can no longer keep their loved one at home.
But lifting and transferring them from bed to, from different places in the house just got really impossible. I was hurting myself. His doctor was getting quite cross about it. He said, no, you have to take him in there before you really seriously injure yourself.
Whānau can feel guilty, but come to accept aged care as the best place for their loved one. Staff make all the difference to residents' experience.
It's full credit to the facility and the staff. The staff member that came out to meet us when we arrived is still here, and he responds to her really well.
Here are some discussion topics about the transition to care. How welcoming did you find staff when you arrived? What would have made the experience better for family or whānau? What feelings did you have when your family member went into care? Guilt, sadness, relief? And here are some discussion topics about settling into care. What surprised you about living in care? What's good about it? What would you change? Taha whānau, family health and well-being. Staff availability helps whānau to be involved and feel that their voices are heard.
They're accessible from, if you want to discuss stuff you're concerned about, they are accessible. You don't have to make an appointment. They'll say, well, come see me Monday at 2 o'clock, something like that. And that I would not like, really. If I had to go to a place like that, I doubt that I would have put him in there.
Connections people form with staff, other residents and their whānau lift their spirits.
It's very whānau oriented. There are rules, obviously, but generally it's quite open and everyone is accessible. They're not in their offices and stations as one would think. So and that's what I liked about it. It's personal touch. Because that's what whanaungatanga and whānau are all about. It's that kind of aspect. And that's what I liked about it.
Here are some discussion topics about meaningful connections for people living in care. What activities do you find most meaningful? What else would you like to do? How are your relationships with staff? What advice would you give for improvement? How is communication from staff for you? How are your relationships with other people living here? And here are some discussion topics for providers about family or whānau involvement. What do you do to promote and support family or whānau involvement at the care home? How can staff help people living in care stay connected with family or whānau? Taha wairua, spiritual health and well-being. Establishing connections with staff nurtures residents' spiritual health.
Anis was the person who showed me around, and she being an Indian, I could sort of communicate better with her and clarify. very fond. Yeah. And that is it. And after that, once I came here, I got myself accustomed to this place.
For Maori, living in a place where their cultural connections and language flourish enhances their sense of belonging.
I think that's really why we brought him here in the first place. The cultural aspect of it. And the fact that there were quite a number of Maori people here. And some of them are native speakers, which was lovely for him.
Celebration of diversity is an important part of living in care.
They have cultural days here for all cultures, Tongan, Samoan, Filipino, Indian. I love coming to them. Mum loves them too. It's been awesome.
Here are some discussion topics about celebrating culture. Do you feel free to practice your spiritual beliefs? Is there anything that would make this easier? Are your cultural needs met? What would make you feel more at home? Here are some discussion topics about the care home being part of the community. How could the care home be more involved in the wider community? What outings are most enjoyable and why? What visiting groups do you enjoy and why? Taha hinengaro, mental health and well-being. Adjusting to life in care means coping with loss because life has changed. Physical limitations, as well as dementia, can make day-to-day life mentally stressful.
In the room, I have to walk from this end to that end only, but I can't do that. I'm totally based on this chair, and I need help to go to the toilet also. And there are two people who need to assist me.
When people die, it can weigh on others' minds.
There are people constantly dying here. It can become a slightly oppressive aspect of the place.
Quality care from staff can play a positive role in the mental health of people living there.
The culture of the staff is unbelievable. They clean, they do everything. If I want my pills over that, I ring the bell. I got one of the girls here who makes me my drink at flat 4 o'clock, my whiskey, and makes me something to go with it.
Here are some discussion topics about supporting mental health. Some people find the loss of independence difficult and can have problems with depression. What can you do to support these people? Some people are grieving after the loss of a loved one. How can you support these people? People living in care homes are usually facing the last phase of life, and death is not uncommon. How can you support others when someone dies? What rituals do you have in place? The environment in the care home is really important to people living there.
The whole place has got a supportive, friendly atmosphere. I've never felt neglected, or that I'm just getting the cursory minimum of care.
Here are some discussion topics about the care home environment. How do you find the management of the care home? What would improve the atmosphere there? How do you find the food? What could improve it? How do you find the care you receive? What could improve it? How do you find the care home environment? What could improve it? Thank you to everyone who took part in this video. Everyone who participated in our report on Residents' Voices, no mai haere mai ki tōku kainga ho. Welcome to my home. And thank you, Malatest International, for all their work on this project. For more information, go to www.hqsc.govt.nz Aged Residential Care Program to read our report on Residents' Voices and to access other tools and resources.